You're lying in bed, staring at the ceiling. It's been years, but your brain hits replay again. That one moment, that one mistake. What if I hadn't said that? What if I'd done things differently? You can feel your stomach twist, the same shame, the same regret, as if it just happened yesterday. You tell yourself to move on, but your mind won't let you. You're not remembering, you're reliving. You're not just thinking about the past, you're trying to rewrite it, control it, undo it inside your head. You are stuck. This is the trap, the endless, spinning hamster wheel inside your own skull. It has a name: overthinking. We all do it, but for some of us, it's not a temporary bug. It's the default operating system. It's the voice that dissects every past mistake and pre-lives every future catastrophe. It's analysis paralysis, and it is exhausting. We often confuse this mental quicksand with being prepared, with being intelligent or thoughtful. But there's a critical difference. Productive thinking solves problems. Overthinking is the problem. So, why? Why are our brains these incredible, sophisticated tools that built civilizations and split the atom so prone to getting trapped in these destructive, painful loops? In this video, we're not just looking at the what, we're diving deep into the secret psychology of why you overthink. We'll explore the evolutionary hangover that hardwired this tendency, the faulty cognitive software that runs it, and the hidden emotional fears that fuel it. And most importantly, we will equip you with science-backed, actionable strategies to break the cycle, to turn down the volume on the noise, and finally, break free. To understand why you're trapped, you first need to understand that your brain was not designed for the modern world. It was designed for survival. Think of your ancient ancestors, tens of thousands of years ago on the savannah. Let's call two of them Ugg and Thunk. Ugg is an optimist. He hears a rustle in the bushes and thinks, "Oh, probably just the wind." Thunk is an overthinker. He hears the same rustle and thinks, "Is it a saber-toothed tiger? A rival tribe? Should I run, hide, grab my spear? What if it's two tigers?" Which one of these two is more likely to pass on their genes? Tunk, the worrier, the over-analyzer. We are the descendants of Thunk. We inherited his brain. A brain that came with a powerful factory-installed feature called the negativity bias. This bias means our minds are like Velcro for bad experiences and Teflon for good ones. Back then, missing a threat, the rustle, was a fatal mistake. Missing a reward, a patch of berries, was just a missed lunch. Your brain is programmed to overestimate threats, underestimate your ability to handle them, and never forget a failure. In the modern world, this system is on overdrive. A threat is no longer a tiger. It's a critical email from your boss. It's an awkward silence in a conversation. It's a thumbs down on a video. Your brain's ancient alarm system can't tell the difference. It screams danger just as loudly for potential social rejection as it does for a speeding car. Overthinking is your ancient survival software, running on the wrong hardware in the wrong era. But it's not just the ancient hardware. Our thinking itself is full of bugs, cognitive biases that act like gasoline on the fire of overthinking. First, there's perfectionism. Perfectionism is a primary driver. It's the toxic belief that a perfect choice not only exists, but that you must find it. You're not just trying to buy a new blender. You're trying to find the single best blender in the universe for your specific budget and counter space. You spend 6 hours reading 300 reviews, only to end up more confused than when you started. Perfectionism creates an impossible standard. And the fear of failing to meet that standard, the fear of making the wrong choice, is so great that it leads to the ultimate wrong choice, making no choice at all. Second, We have catastrophizing. This is the what-if game that your brain plays and always wins. Catastrophizing is when your mind takes a small, potential negative and extrapolates it into an absolute disaster. You make a small mistake on a report. A normal thinker thinks, "Oops, I'll fix that." An overthinker thinks, "My boss will see the mistake. He'll realize I'm incompetent. I'll get a bad review. I'll get fired. I won't be able to pay rent. I'll be homeless." This cognitive distortion blows every concern out of proportion, turning a minor setback into a life-ending event, forcing your mind to spin in circles, trying to prevent a catastrophe that has a 0.1% chance of happening. Third is emotional reasoning. This bias is simple and devastating. I feel it, therefore it must be true. You wake up feeling anxious. You don't know why, but instead of letting the feeling pass, your brain goes hunting for a reason. Why do I feel anxious? It must be that presentation on Thursday. It's going to be a disaster. I feel the dread, so the danger must be real. Your feelings are treated as evidence of reality, but your feelings are just feelings. They are not facts. When you let them drive your thoughts, you create a feedback loop from hell. You feel anxious, so you think anxious thoughts, which makes you feel more anxious, which you get the picture. Finally, there's mind reading and personalization. This is the arrogant assumption that you know, without a doubt, what other people are thinking, and that it's always negative, and it's always about you. Your friend is quiet at dinner. Your brain doesn't just observe, "My friend is quiet." It instantly concludes, "She's mad at me. It's because I said that stupid joke 10 minutes ago. Now she hates me. I've ruined the friendship." You have personalized a neutral event and mind-read a negative motive. Your brain then spends the next 3 hours replaying every second of the dinner, trying to pinpoint the exact moment you ruined everything. These biases are the how. But what is the fuel that keeps this entire engine running? It's our emotions. The core engine is fear and anxiety. At the bottom of almost every overthinking spiral is a deep, primal fear. The fear of uncertainty. We live in a chaotic, unpredictable world. Overthinking is a desperate attempt to create a sense of control. If you can just think through every possible outcome of a decision, you believe you can neutralize the threat of the unknown. It's a quest for 100% certainty in a world that offers 0%. The fear of failure. We are terrified of making a mistake, of looking foolish, of being wrong. The fear of judgment. We are social creatures, and the fear of rejection is one of our deepest. We overanalyze our texts, our outfits, our words, all in a desperate bid to manage other people's perceptions of us. And this leads to the most subtle driver, low self-trust. This is the hidden belief that you are too fragile to handle the consequences of a bad decision. Why do you spend a month deciding on a vacation? It's not just about the hotel. It's because you don't trust that if the hotel is bad, you'll be able to handle the disappointment and still find a way to have a good time. You don't trust your future self. You don't trust your own resilience. This low self-trust forces you to seek a perfect solution because you secretly believe that anything less than perfect will break you. Finally, there's learned behavior. Our brains are wired by our experiences. If you grew up in a critical environment where every small mistake was punished or pointed out, your brain learned to overanalyze. It became a protective mechanism. If I can find my own flaws first, I can avoid the pain of being criticized by others. If you experienced a past trauma or a major failure that seemed to come out of nowhere, your brain may have gone into permanent hypervigilance, constantly scanning for threats to make sure you are never, ever surprised like that again. So, you see, you are not broken. Your brain isn't defective. It's a 100,000-year-old survival machine, running faulty software, fueled by a deep and understandable fear of uncertainty and a lack of trust in your own strength. This is the prison, and understanding its architecture is the first step to finding the key. We tell ourselves that overthinking is just a quirk, a personality trait. Oh, I'm just a worrier. But the truth is, this is not a harmless quirk. It has a cost. A real, tangible, and devastating cost. Let's talk about the damage you're inflicting on yourself every single day. First, the mental and emotional cost. Chronic overthinking is chronic stress. You are marinating your brain in stress hormones 24/7. You are never at peace. Your mind is never off. This isn't just tiring, it's the direct pathway to clinical anxiety disorders. It's the engine of depression as you ruminate endlessly on past failures and regrets. It's the fast track to complete mental and emotional burnout. You're exhausting your mind's resources on imaginary problems, leaving you with nothing left to cope with real ones. Then, the physical cost. Your brain is part of your body. When your mind is stressed, your body is stressed. Overthinking destroys your sleep. How can you rest when your mind is a courtroom and you are both the prosecutor and the defendant? This lack of sleep, combined with high cortisol levels, creates a cascade of physical problems: chronic fatigue, persistent headaches, and muscle tension. A digestive system that's always in knots. It even weakens your immune system. Yes, your habit of overanalyzing a text message is literally making it easier for you to catch a cold. But the most tragic cost is the cost to your life. This is the cost of inaction. While you are busy in your head, analysing the 14 different ways a first date could go wrong, you never ask the person out. While you are paralysed, trying to write the perfect resume or business plan, someone else is out there, starting, failing, learning, and succeeding. Overthinking is the ultimate form of procrastination. It masquerades as diligence, but it is rooted in fear. It keeps you in the job you hate because the thought of a new interview is too overwhelming. It keeps you in the relationship that's okay because the thought of being alone is a catastrophe you've already lived 1,000 times in your head. Overthinking doesn't just steal your present moment, it murders your future. It is the thief of joy, the assassin of opportunity, and the architect of a life half-lived. The cost is simply too high. It's time to fight back. Okay, we've dissected the why and faced the cost. Now, for the most important part, the how. You cannot cure overthinking. You cannot simply turn off your brain. This isn't about becoming an empty-headed robot. It's about becoming the leader of your mind, not its victim. Here are 5 powerful, science-backed strategies to break the loop. You don't need to master all of them. Just start with 1. The first step to escaping a prison is to realize you are in one. You cannot fix what you do not see. The moment you feel that familiar spiral starting, the anxiety rising, the mental what-ifs beginning, stop and label it. Say it out loud or in your head. I am overthinking right now. This is rumination. This is catastrophizing. This simple act of labeling is a powerful tool from acceptance and commitment therapy, ACT. It does 2 magic things. First, it creates distance. You are no longer the thought. You are the observer of the thought. There is you, and there is the overthinking. This space gives you back your power. Second, it demystifies it. It's not a real tiger. It's just that old, familiar, catastrophizing program running again. You see it, you name it, and it starts to lose its hold on you. This sounds counterintuitive, but it is incredibly effective. Schedule your overthinking. Give yourself a 10 or 15-minute worry window every single day. Let's say 4:30 p.m. Here's how it works. When an anxious thought or a spiral pops up at 10 a.m., you don't fight it and you don't follow it. You postpone it. Take a notepad, write the worry down. Worry, what if my presentation is terrible? And then tell your brain, thank you for that. That's a valid concern. We will give it our full, undivided attention at 4:30. For the rest of the day, when that thought comes back, you just gently remind it, nope, not now, see you at 4:30. What you'll find is amazing. First, you've just reclaimed hours of your day. Second, when 4:30 rolls around and you look at your list, half of the worries will seem absurd. The emotional charge is gone. For the ones that remain, you give them their 15 minutes. You think as hard as you can. When the timer goes off, you're done for the day. This teaches your brain that you are in charge of the schedule, not the anxiety. Your overthinking brain is a fantastic liar. It presents its worst-case scenarios as 100% facts. It's time to become a lawyer and cross-examine these thoughts. When a major what-if takes hold, grab a pen and paper. Ask yourself 3 questions. 1. What is the evidence for this thought? And what is the evidence against it? Thought, I'm going to be fired. Evidence for, my boss seemed curt in an email. Evidence against, I've hit all my targets for 6 months. I received a good review in June. My boss is curt with everyone. Be honest. You'll often find the evidence against is much, much stronger. 2. What is the most likely outcome? Your brain jumps to the worst possible outcome. Force it to calculate the most probable one. Worst outcome, I'm fired and homeless. Best outcome, I get a raise for being so brilliant. Most likely outcome, my boss was busy and nothing at all happens. This anchors you back in reality. 3. And if. So what? This is the big one. Play out the worst case scenario and plan for it. Thought. What if I do get fired? Okay, what would you do? Well, I'd be upset. I'd update my resume. I'd call my recruitment contact. I'd cut back on subscriptions. I'd have to start applying for jobs. Suddenly, it's not a catastrophe. It's an inconvenience. It's a problem to be solved. You've just proven to your brain that even the worst case is handleable. You've just tapped into that self-trust we talked about. Perfectionism feeds on unlimited choice. The antidote is to impose constraints. If you're paralyzed by a decision, shrink the choice. Instead of, what's the best choice? Ask, what's a good enough choice? Good enough is the secret weapon of happy, effective people. Pick a good enough restaurant. Pick a good enough paint color. Give yourself a time limit. I will research this new laptop for 1 hour, and then I will decide. Set a timer. When it dings, you click buy. Or, my favorite, the 2-minute rule. If a decision or action takes less than 2 minutes, do it immediately. Answering that text, sending that email, putting that dish in the dishwasher. This builds momentum and clears your mental dashboard of all the tiny looping to-dos that fuel your anxiety. Overthinking is a mental problem. The fastest way to break a mental loop is with a physical action. Your brain cannot be in deep analysis mode and physical action mode at the same time. Action wins. Use Mel Robbins' 5-second rule. The moment you feel yourself starting to hesitate, starting to spin, you count backwards from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. And on 1, you physically move. You stand up. You walk to the sink and get a glass of water. You put your shoes on to go for a walk. You start typing the first word of the email. It doesn't matter what the action is. The countdown interrupts the thought pattern, and the physical movement changes your entire state. You cannot think your way out of an overthinking spiral. You must act your way out. The journey out of the overthinking trap isn't a single heroic leap. It's a series of small, consistent steps. Let's be clear, you will never cure overthinking. That ancient, threat-detecting UG brain isn't going anywhere. You will still have anxious thoughts. You will still worry. But the goal was never to have a quiet mind. The goal is to have a mind you can lead. What you've learned today is that overthinking is not a personal failure. It's a survival mechanism gone wrong, fueled by cognitive biases and a deep fear of uncertainty. But now, you have the tools. You can label the thought. You can schedule the worry. You can challenge the distortion. You can shrink the choice. And you can act to break the loop. And now, I want to hear from you. Which part of the overthinking psychology resonated with you the most? Are you a perfectionist, a catastrophizer, or do you struggle with the fear of uncertainty? Let me know in the comments below. Reading your experiences helps this entire community realize they are not alone. The trap is real, but the door is not locked. You just learned how to build the key. Stop waiting for 100% certainty. It will never come. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. It doesn't exist. Choose action over analysis. Choose good enough over perfect. Choose today to trust that whatever happens, you will be able to handle it, because you will.